Hello everybody! Sorry for the late start here. Welcome to another stream this week. Tonight we'll be continuing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Today, so court has just been adjourned because we are going to be interrogating the Red-Headed League because apparently that's who Gregson was investigating before his untimely demise here. But hello, hope everyone's been doing well. As for the rest of the week, Friday will be our continuation of Honkai Star Rail. And then we'll be continuing streams next week. Well, I've got nothing else for you guys after Friday. But let's jump right in here. Alright. Let me switch us over. Hope everyone's been having a good night, good evening, good whatever time of day it is. Alright, hopefully my controller is working. Yep, there we go. Continue. Yeah, Twisted Karma in his last bow. November 12:33 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Alright, this is where we left off. Oh, there you are, Odo! What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Gina? Oh, you're in awfully higher spirits. You sure about what you said in there? But the boss, you know, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. Oh. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I! Possibly more shocked than both of you! Sorry to tell you this, Sholmes, but I think your imagination is quite wild when it comes to stuff like this. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation. Or perhaps it was a deliberate omission, sorry. Oh dear, if it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on in Dr. Sith. Oh, not again! I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Van Zieks discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, so perhaps something happened with them. Come to think of it, you were investigating too, Mr. Sholmes? You had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. No! Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-hound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? And Mr. Sholmes is sweet, I mean. That's right, Suze! And it was me what took him. Oh, look at her! She's so proud of herself. I'm so glad. I love Gina. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed. Yours truly. So it's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Something strange is afoot. Hello, Matinavine. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth-hound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. I don't think so, Sholmes. I think I think you're the only one that's worried about paying rent here. Don't tar him with the same brush as you, Sholmes! Yes, well, then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zieks for some reason. What is this up to? The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zieks, and Kazuma. Yeah, and Kazuma. Kazuma is hellbound on prosecuting this case for one reason or another. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? He's trying to help us find the truth in his own way, rather than telling us outright. All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Kazuma was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. Yeah, what's he up to? And he was determined that I should take the defense. Cause you're his best bro. Just what is that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Well, we're barely at the end. Are you ready then, Mrs. Otto? Yes! Bum 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 bum. Alright. 2nd November, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey Courtroom, sorry. Look at him! All poised up! We don't get to see him from this angle very much. Name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed court hearing of Barak van Zieks, here present who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Asogi. My lord? Have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes, the 2 members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Alright, let's see these guys. Bailiff, usher the 2 men into the courtroom. Alright, let's see them. Whoa! These guys are spiffy! These 2 men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. Whoa! That's kind of cool. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great de Rousseau family from Nice. Is it Nietzsche or Nice? I think it's Nietzsche? I think. I have taken 4 years of French in high school and I've forgotten all of it. Good. En France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I am the 3rd son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. The 2 men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from Temsik are the future leaders of Europe. But, do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alors, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do, huh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Just did it for fun! What can I say? Let some people have hobbies. Wait, you could say that. Not bad, eh? He has the great ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of the hilarious brothers. See, couple? It doesn't look like he's as enamored by this other guy. Listen to me, Peppino. I have 2 things to say to you. Eh? Che? Are you about to tell me one of your grandi anecdotes? Viva? Question mark? Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this couple. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is a serious business. Chibalo! There it is! The Capo's trump card! The furrowed brow! It is deep, ah, Capo? The furrow, and the meaning of your words! The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui, c'est ça. What exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud? Alors, I will explain it. No, Capo! Leave it to me! As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased for this without pity. The couple here, who was many times behind the schoolhouse crying like the Trevi fountain. Oh, those dogs! One day the world will respect those residents! Every night, he would bury his head in his pillow. Oh, shit. I didn't get to finish reading. C'est bien, Peppino. Enough! I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. Oh, it was just these two then. It was this one, I believe, entitled to the Red-Headed League. Oui, c'est ça. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the League is having flame-colored hair, and that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted to the League, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at a park specified in the advertisement, and from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. Ah, I see! And with the money, to France! It was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. Sholmes, do you have anything to say for yourself? The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange barrow. And on the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui, I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life. See! And now, every time I see the capo's air, I feel sick to my stomach! Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for a trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Oh, you're in a different trial, buddy! In a homicide one! Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. They've only been shown this photograph. Very good. So, Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course. We are always ready to help with the law. No, you are not, considering you were swindling people in broad daylight. Alright, what do these guys have? The man in the photograph. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Eh, Capo? No, I don't remember him. Obviously, he is dead now, but I assure you, he was not in the park. Elora, this victim has nothing to do with us! You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. I like this duo. There's a lot of Ace Attorney characters I like, but I like this duo. You have given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph is not pleasant. Can you be certain? Pleasant? Present? Oui, I am quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came into the park? This I can promise! It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances. With this attitude, we get to nowhere, huh? He's really a sulkin now, thanks, Ryunosuke! This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League. Undercover. Ah, I have the answer! Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh? That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed. I think maybe... I don't know, actually. Very well, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. Ah, yes, my lord! And he's still getting jumped by the judge. He's not paying- boy is not paying attention. Alright, man on the photograph. What do we press here? Symbol in the park on the Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. I don't remember him, and obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. His victim has nothing to do with us. A lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. Okay. Okay, let me see. Symbol in pocket. That's pretty solid. I don't think I need to press that. Don't recall the man in this photograph, eh, Capo? And obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. Nothing to do with us. A lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. I feel like if anything, that's something I gotta press, right? They haven't told us much we didn't already know. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet these two both claim they didn't see him. I have to say, they don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is their specialty. They may be lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. Surely if they were truly experts in deception, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yes, you do have a point there. It seems to me like we need more information. Yep, just gotta press. Definitely. Alright, I think, I gotta press that middle, this one right here. I gotta press this.
Hold it!
Alright. But according to what you've said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present? Normally the red hair is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 red heads rounding around. Then it's just an eyesore. But there was some other information you could have given us. Then maybe we would recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, huh? Oh, no! Oh! No, they do know him, don't they? If there was a man with a red hairpiece, but his mustache did not match their color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. Cosimo said these two had only been shown that photograph they'd been told nothing else at all. But what if I found them just one other detail about the victim? For example, his name, his profession, his fish and chips. I don't think he'd have his fish and chips on him. His profession, his name. I don't think they give his name. Maybe his profession. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you that the man in the hairpiece was actually a detective? The man in the photograph? A detective? Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Oh, they're thinking. Sorry, but this changes nothing. Oh! Sorry, buddy! Hold on, give me a second! Something to add, Mr. De Rossi? See! I am always adding something! Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Eh? What did he just say about the detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard! What? He was there! Oh, he's on a little box, that's funny. Alright. Yeah, excuse me. Explain this vault face in your testimony, witness. It's simple. A man who was at the park said to us that he was there was no such man. Come on, buddy. Do you want to add perjury to your record here? Tai, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten that? I have forgotten nothing. Nobody likes this man came to the park. Basta, Capo, basta! You beat me at many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster. But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up.
Objection.
Come on. Kazuma too. Toptard, the damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. Oui, there was a man who came to the park and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be so sure? Because, to start with, his face was completely different. See, it's true, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was clean-shaven. His eyes were sadder. His thin chin was thinner. No resemblance whatsoever, then. Wait, who came by, then? Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, "If you are really a detective, show us the proof." See, the capo here. He doesn't take on no nonsense, eh? But he was well prepared. He said he had an identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification? That is most unconvincing. Sorry, my lord. Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. That's quite out of the question. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, the papers were fake. Shit, I'm sorry. I feel bad for all the language I'm kind of butchering here. Certo, Capo, you're a genius! As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? It became very annoying. He said, "You are under investigation." So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. Oh, you have the papers with you? Oh, shit! It was fantastico! And look, here is the identification! So you stole it from the man? Sure did. He had it coming! He made us very scared. But he was not who he said he was. Indeed. The person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence. But I like them! Oh, inspector's identification. Confiscated by Mr. DeRossi. Okay, we are investigating that right away! Give me that! Hand it over! Let me look! Oh. I assume I can open it. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Alright, what's it say? Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something pluckered out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. That's true. That's his real actual identification. Oh, buddy. Wait, what? The Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me. Wow. And the department and identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say he just got hoodwinked out of his ID? Gregson, what were you doing? I know it seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? Inspector Gregson's police identification. It's the official warrant card issued to him by Scotland Yard, and you're telling me these two bozos just snatched it away from him? That's funny. Oh, Gregson, what were you doing? Alright, there is nothing else I can examine from this, though. Alright. This victim is nothing to do with us. And obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. Well... I'm sorry to say, but he was indeed in the park. I think I could just present this here again and just be like, hey, hold up. No, he was in the park. Or is it this one? He has nothing to do with us. He has nothing to do with us implies that, well, he was investigating them. It could, this could be one of the ones where it's like, you can pick either one and it's fine, probably. I do think it's this one, though. I'll just present it here. Alright. Sorry, buddy. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade. Oh, Lestrade! Yeah, because Gina would know! Why Miss Lestrade? What's your intention here, Counsel? Is this really a fake, or is it genuine? That's the question. Which we can't answer ourselves. Objection. Oh. Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. Kazuma, you have no idea. Oh, hold it. That is the boss's! No question about it! It can't be! Haha, me too! As I suspected, the undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation! The law! Oh, he's down on the ground, buddy! Order! But if the boss had his identification stolen, it would have reported it straight away. I mean, he was always on me about it. If you lose Summit, report it at once, he'd say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Uh-oh. Physically? Right? What are you saying? Unable to... You're not suggesting. Yeah, he was dead after. That's what we're thinking. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No! I love the way Kazuma looks. Oh, we only got to see him for such a short time in the beginning, and now he's full-on animated. The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered, at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? I know nothing! I done nothing! Pull yourself together, Peppino! Mon Dieu, you can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, no? Now I wish I had a return to Italia! Oh, poor buddy. Stop crying, Peppino, please! Oh no! Otherwise Ume, stop with your whining and start talking! Well, I believe the court will need to hear your story and I know nothing! I've done nothing! But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome. You will dry your eyes and testify again about these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. For crying out loud. Quite literally. Alright. The detective on identification. The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night at our secret hideout. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go. We spent a night at a nice room. It was nothing like Prisonville. These poor guys. Oh, I love these two. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man? But no, no. It wasn't like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Ikafu? Oh, Doroso. It was never part of my plan. I swear it. So you think it was my fault, huh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong. By one little day. I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it. No. Per favor, capo. It is not fair. You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. I don't believe this. How could I? He have been a real detective. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in his pair's hideout? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for a night at our secret hideout. Real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. Identification him and shut him in the room next to ours. So it might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm. Hey, that's something I should... I think you guys should talk about that a little bit more. What do you mean, tussle? What do you mean by a little tussle, exactly? Oh, it was nothing. Just a minor incident. The falso inspector, he was a real piece of work! Eh, Capo? What happened? It was a disaster! We give him nice room, and what does he do, in the middle of the night, he tries to escape through the ventilor! Can you blame him? We chased him, bien sûr, and we caught him again. Can you blame us? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? So, who's you think we are? Of course not! Yeah, just a little tussle. The guy's dead. Oh, shit! I simply got hold of him again and took him back to his room. Alright, what you got, buddy? What's up? Excuse me. Mr. De Rossi, is something wrong? Is something wrong? Whoops. Me? Something Mr. De Rosso just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was all that about? Cavolo, at times like this you don't want to have a capo after you, believe me. I speak from a personal experienza. Personal experience? That is enough, Peppino. There is no need to say more. I think your little buddy here is the weak link. The truth is, the night before we put the red-headed league plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the couple, but I tried to run away. It's a shame you didn't manage it. But the capo here, he came after me like the turbine, and he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still have the bruises to prove it. Eh, capo? Bruises, you say? Oh, on your neck. Right? Question mark? Or is that just your shadow? Like, textures. You wanna see, huh? You wanna see my fantastical bruises? That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What to do, huh? I show you, or I don't. I show you, or I don't. You do! Now! Allora, if everybody wants to see, then I do it! Oh, it is your neck. Okay. Cool. You see? It is still very visible, eh? That red ring around your neck. You got that when you were dragged back to the house? See, the capo. Sometimes he is very rough. And I said that's enough. Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we are talking about here. You have my word. Yes. What is your opinion, Council? About this red ring about Mr. De Rossi's neck? I wonder. Does it matter? Hang on. Hey, where's that photo of Gregson? Can I check something real quick? There he is. Now, is that a bruise or is that a shadow? That's just my concern here. Because there's a little red indentation here that doesn't look like it's from a shadow because the rest of it is pretty uniform. That's the rough thing about this, is that he's kind of in the dark. I can't really see. I do think it's important because they're bringing it up. It's just that this isn't... I don't think it's Gregson that they... It's probably one of the other people we met, right? Oh! Oh, you have a very... Huh! Oh! It's important. Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Hey, couple, you see? Everyone is interested in what I say, huh? Ugh. Very well, you will amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi. See, if you really want to, I know. So, like... wait, so it wasn't Gregson that they grabbed? Because I don't think I see a bruise here. So it wasn't Gregson they grabbed, but how did they get a hold of his ID then? do I present this on here? We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours. Wait, so then... Tried to escape, but the capo put a collar on him and dragged him back, like what he did to me, see? But then... I assume I still present this photo, but,
Objection.
But we don't see that on Gregson. So the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. No, it was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to say. It was only. However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is this, Counsel? I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. Yeah, there's no mark. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck. Eh? But that makes no sense. It was me who took the collar off the man in the morning. I saw the red bruise on his neck, just like I have. Given that the mark is still clearly visible on the witness's neck, we'd expect to see bruising on the victim who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. Indeed, that is most peculiar. Well, we tell you, huh? We say this from the beginning, many times. Then who did they grab? Because they grabbed someone that had Gregson's ID. We Peppino is right. The man in the photograph is someone different to the man we held captive that night. Wait, so then whose ID did you? Why do you have Gregson's ID? It would appear, then, that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all. Yeah, but then how did they grab the ID? If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. The prosecution made that assertion itself. Yeah, you did, Kazuma! And we also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day, which surely means we can't divorce the two events completely. The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-handed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification? Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel? The whole thing defies explanation. It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo. Because those are the facts. And the facts cannot lie. No, the facts can't lie. Even when they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Yeah, we took a peek earlier. It was the other guy that had the red line around him. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. Good gracious! Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. So why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. De Rossi and Mr. Oh. Hello, Money Money! Welcome. Hope your day's been going well. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. Just to catch you up, we are in, Great Ace Attorney Resolve, Chapter 4. So we are in the middle of a whole ass trial, but hope your day's been going well. It has to be an imposter, because we saw that it was a certain Mr. Gossip. Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time.
Objection!
Oh, it has not, because how did the other guy get his ID then? Yeah, hello! On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is, Who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification? See? See? That's right! We tell the story every time! Whoever this man was, the couple dragged him from a pillar to a post with a dog collar! Dog collar? Mon Dieu, Peppino! I was not so harsh as you say, huh? So who was it that falso inspector, eh? Who was he? Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. About the true identity of the man these two imprisoned that night. I love these two! I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Who did the witnesses encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson? It's this other dude that has the huge-ass line on him.
Take that!
Take that! Goodness me. Isn't that... one of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passerby.
Objection!
What on earth would a street seller be doing with the police inspector's identification papers? Well, that's what we're about to find out, buddy! Witnesses, is this the man or not? What has happened to his lip? Ah! See, this man is not for the Red-Headed League, eh? He's looking for the Twisted Lip League, no? Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. But he has the... It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. Eh? What? He is quite pretty, though. The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. Bailiff, bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom immediately. Yeah, you've got a ring around your neck? Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him. Now what's going on here, eh? I've always had this, me. It's a birthmark, isn't it? A birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you. Aye, somewhat about an inspector again. But I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong as usual. You're denying all knowledge of it? Well, of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh? Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. Mr. De Rossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Ryunosuke is so much more serious this chapter, I've noticed. Do we have any choice? We are in a big trouble, eh, couple? That's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony. Alright, here we go. Inspector and the identification revisited. The man who claimed to be an inspector that day was definitely not this man. He's right, see? You think we will forget how these grand lips, huh? I never leave Fresno Street, alright? I've no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, me. I've no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? Just look at me, huh? Does it look like I could carry off a disguise with a face like this? It would certainly appear that we have the wrong man. I've been telling you, huh? There was no need for this pointless testimony. Ugh. Well, we gotta press it. That's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. How would I have come by a police inspector's identification book, eh? Well, yes, that's hard to explain, but... A brief cross-examination, I think, counsel. Very brief. Very brief? That's scary. Ugh. Isn't there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something? I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo, but also you're my assistant. I'm kind of hoping you are. Alright. I think the first thing I want to press is him never leaving Fresno Street. 'Cause that seems wild, that he never leaves there. That's right, see? You think we'll get these grand lips out? This also seems like one of the few things I can press, so we're starting off with this.
Hold it!
Hold it! So, you'd heard of the Red-Headed League, have you? You don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going off in town. I sold that tasty tidbit to a fair few redheads that came past me. Just between us, I even got Sandwich to cough up for it. Why? Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts. Who knows? But as you can see, my own hair's got not a hint of red in it. In any case, Fresno's my patch. You won't catch me settling off to some other parts of town. No, sir, not
so.
likely. Oh, what you got over here? Mr. De Rousseau. Oui? Can I help you? Did Mr. Gossip's word just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? It was the other day, when I was looking for a place near the park. A small house or something. To be the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes. I visited an housing agent on Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent. What? Mr. Gossip with the housing agent? Well, he's gotta find a place to live. Oui, he had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were very clearly discussing terms. But no, you're mistaken, chum! I've never left Fresno Street, me. Like I said before, you've mistaken me for someone else, someone with the same face. No, the couple was right. I remember it too. He was paying a man with, the banknotes. With notes? Like I said, that wasn't me. I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had some money. So I looked at the name on the papers. And what name was written? Mr. Gossip? No, this a man. He lies. He tells you that he has no name. But in fact his name is Hugh Bona. Is better than Gossip, I think, see? Oh no! I'm a peddler of tidbits for information, like I said. Our Fresno Street, and that's it. I don't much like folk talking about my personal life. Indeed. And it is not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses. Very well. I shall respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all court records of this trial, assuming no objections.
Objection!
Oh, I have an objection. I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to this case. Wait, does it? Oh, was this, oh, right, because, what was wasn't the name on the apartment that Gregson rented under Hugh Bone? Right? Good gracious! Do you similarly object, Prosecutor Osogi? As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings. Okay, it has. Well, I never. In what capacity? Yeah, I forgot too, Judge. It's been like 2 weeks. Hugh Bone. The name of the leaseholder of the room. Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. Oh, he knows. I suggest, sir, that you start talking. Well, alright. I suppose that might be the case, eh? So your real name is Hugh Bone. Bone. Well, just between us, I don't like to blow on me own trumpet, but there's no finer peddler of tidbits in town. So I happen to afford a grubby little room in a falling down backstreet downtown house. You do? Once every 6 months, I go and pay the rent to the agent on Lime Street. Aye, I remember it now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Aye, if either of us is a vulgar, it's not a me. Think again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before? It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler. As far as everyone else is concerned, no fuss. Alright. You will update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Bone. If I must. So the leaseholder Scotland Yard has been looking for since the body was discovered. Has been here under our noses all along. True, for what difference does it make? Huh. I'm all alone in the world, me. I've got no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? Okay, so you own that room. So, was it not Greg's? Was it not Gregson's room? Okay. Okay, we were operating under the assumption that this was Gregson's room, but it was actually your room, and Gregson was just found here. So then, you were investigating the Reaper then. But why? I'm all alone in the world, me. I've got no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? If this was your room... No way. No way. No way. No way you're Mr. Vigil. Is that another one of your aliases? What happened to you, buddy? What happened to you? I mean, Vigil did disappear. I've got no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? Okay, so let's assume that that's his room. That means he's investigating the Reaper for some unknown reason. Relating to victims of the Reaper, there's a bloody handprint on the backside. Let's assume that that's you. So then... this ticket's gonna come in clutch somehow. Okay. Alright, let's see if this photo frame has some use here. I have a hunch, and I'm not sure if that hunch is correct. Let's save before I do this. I'm out of save slots, unfortunately, so we're just gonna have to save over this one. Alright, let's give it a shot.
Objection!
If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why is it that among the sparse furnishings, we found this photograph in the room. Ah! Oh, you recognize it! I presume, as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you, does it not? Oh, well... Mr. Bone, drop your pretense and tell the court exactly who you really are. Oh, you're actually Vigil! I don't know what you mean. I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You don't really need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says. Sorry, I have to just let this play, cause yo, it's a banger. Kind of a banger. Leave it alone. Whatever truth is about this man's life, it has no bearing on this case. Because it is simply not possible that he impersonated Inspector Gregson. No, but what if he was in cahoots with him as well? Or, in fact, because the thing is, maybe, oh, that's a bot, sorry. Goodbye, buddy. Because if this guy is actual... If this guy is actually what's his face? David Vigil. And then it could have been that he was actually investigating the Reaper, because the Reaper case is the reason why he was laid off from the prison, right? So then maybe he was the one actually investigating, and then someone caught onto it and they decided to just dump Gregson's body in his room. But why here, in particular? That's a real question here. How can you be so sure? Just look at the man! No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features. But what if we were to look at this the other way around? What do you mean? Yes, Counsel, what do you mean? Well, there's no denying that Mr. Bone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip itself is part of an elaborate disguise. Yeah, you are Vigil, aren't you? Then hiding that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Bone? Uh-oh, buddy. You have a wife that's worrying about you. Good witness, are you still hiding the truth from this court? If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be... Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. My lord, the defense believes it can reveal Mr. Bone's true identity to the court. No, please, no. Oh, buddy. Very well then, Counsel. What is the true identity of this peddler who simply goes by the name of Gossip on the street? It's Vigil. It's the missing guy.
Take that!
It has to be. Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil. Yeah, we got you! I don't recall the name, Counsel. Who is this Mr. Vigil? It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective, asking him to locate her missing husband. The woman in this photograph, in fact. This is Mrs. Vigil. But what? From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the two red-headed League men. And last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial, because we've been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were all homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife, who's been beside herself with worry, waiting for you at the Vigil residence. way to make him feel guilty, Ryunosuke. Now, just hold on. You hold on a minute. What I'm talking about? Really? It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. No, please. Sorry, buddy. Bailiff, bring soap, sponge, and a wash bowl at once. Mr. Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi, you will restrain the witness. Oh, oui, my lord. See, my lord. Oh, this poor guy. No, stop. Get off, please. No, this poor guy. Oh, there he is. The fake ass lips just peeled off! Bro, you do not look like you're in your 40s. Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume. Oh, look at him, all cleaned up. Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face. Oh! Look at you! It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. This has all been a very elaborate deception. So, witnesses, tell the court, have you seen this man before? I don't believe it! But... See! There is no question! This is the inspector we saw at the park! Extraordinary! Okay, so why did you have Gregson's ID? On the day of the Red-Headed League's enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson, who appeared before Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi in the park, was you, disguised as the inspector. Or rather, was it you posing as the inspector and no disguise at all? Oh, Vigil. Oh, the ruse is up. He's quiet. Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as the chief warder at Barclay Prison. The chief warder? Then your career had promise. Why would you quite possibly have become the you could quite possibly have become the future governor of the prison? What on earth have you been doing peddling little tittle-tattle on Fresno Street? Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison. 10 years? Oh, buddy! I'm really dreadfully sorry about all this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil. Wait, so your name is... Wait, hang on. Your name is Daily Vigil, as in, like, daily vigil. A vigil that you do every day. And your wife's name is Evie Vigil. I assume that just has to mean evening vigil. As in a vigil that you do every evening. Why? And you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago. Oh, Kazuma's picked up on it. So where did Mr. Hugh Bone come from? Bone is the other me. It's a name I invented. Well, evidently, there is a great deal under the surface here. I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life had become. Oh, poor guy. He got fired. As you say, it was 10 years ago, though, that my employment at Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you are the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I've never told her. Poor guy. I opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Bone, and I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the very crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right. Oh! A place from which I would emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler, and transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room. Yeah, he wasn't using it at all. But that explains it. But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons. And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. Oh, poor guy. So you decided to conceal your occupation from them. Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell to passing gentlemen, even at 6 pence apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison. Very true. To have kept your family in comfort despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment. Yeah, so then I have to assume Gregson came into the picture and was like, hey, I kind of feel bad for you. I'm gonna start paying you if you help me with a certain something here. That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson. What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth? It was some years after I had invented Bone and begun my other life as a street seller. The inspector, that is, recognized me one day. How? Damn! Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours? I knew him from my time working at the prison. Oh, hey there, buddy! When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. Then one day, he asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him. A secret? What was it? I was to impersonate the inspector. He's kinda cool. I love how fluid his movements are. What? Impersonate him? He's precise but fluid. We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. Visit Orxie's room tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress. Oh, what was Gregson having you do? It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. On those occasions, he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My instructions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. Oh, why? For those services, he would compensate me financially. A Scotland Yard inspector willingly relinquished his identification into your care with intent to deceive? That, as I'm sure I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense. But why? What was the point of you impersonating him? I truthfully do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions. Oh! Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if I end up a croaker. Oh, buddy. Unfortunately, that promise cannot come to pass. In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. It became something of a second office for him. So, in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my bone disguise, and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away. Damn! Yeah, that was the one thing! Damn. Well, it would seem this confession completely destroys the defense's case. Huh? Explain yourself, Prosecutor Asogi. My learned friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on the day before his corpse was discovered. At the hands of these two red-headed league men when they imprisoned the inspector. Oh, poor guy! But no, that can't be! After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park that day, it was me! Oh goodness! Finally, we have clarity! We have nothing to do with the murder of the inspector. And merci, Monsieur de la Défense, for approving it. Oh, poor dude. No. But that means that... Okay, what does that mean? Okay, where do we go from here? Let's ride the wave for a sec. Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses have no involvement in the murder of the victim. As proven, somewhat ironically, by the defense. Ugh. I hereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Oh! Oh, what's up, Asogi? Yeah, he heard 10 years ago and I was like, wait a minute. Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness. Kazuma? What question, counsel? Concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been present at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time. 10 years ago? The execution of the professor, Genshin Asogi. I want to know exactly what your involvement was. Oh! Answer me, man! One moment, Counsel. Is this related to the current case? Naturally. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and evidence of 10 years ago are inextricably linked. Does the defense concur, Counsel? Kazuma, you're not yourself. You're not as calm and collected as usual. Poor Kazuma-sama. No wonder he's acting this way. Yeah, it has to do with a very significant case in his life here. Mr. Vigil's memories of what happened 10 years ago would tell the tale of Genshin Asogi's last moments. His own father. I know. I do understand that. But even so... Prosecutor Asogi. Do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death? I need you to trust me. Please. Oh. Very well. Then the defense has no objection. I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness. The truth is, I remember very little of that time. You've forgotten? I'm sorry to say, yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. But for some peculiar reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy. Oh, he's blocked it out, then. Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Well, 10 years is a long time. But to have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job? Yes, you're right. Whoa, well, we do have something that'll jog his memory if the if the game presents itself with that moment. Not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know. The human spirit is a fragile thing, is broken all too easily, which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. Sorry? The human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away. But it never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. He's speaking from experience. And when they do, that fragile spirit might finally be crushed. But I really don't. Kazuma-sama. But if it must be crushed, then so be it, because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out, one way or another. Come on, Ryunosuke. Right. Now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth, at any cost. Oh. Perhaps that if I point out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I? Yes, I should! Should I present the evidence or not? Yeah, do it! I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of events. It's the ticket. No, it's not. Dismissal note. It's this one. It's this one. Reason for dismissal. Yes. This one. The dismissal notice.
Take that!
Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. Ah, well, yes. In other words, you claim to have left the post of Chief Warder of your own volition, but that was not the case. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. A dismissal notice? We got this way earlier! And the name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. What? Oh, poor guy. It's mine? So you didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as Chief Warder from Barclay. No, there's There's been some mistake. I'm sure. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Uh-oh. Is it? Oh, he's remembering! If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Vigil, it's time to break the seal and have you remember. Buddy! Uh-oh! According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on 17th June 10 years ago, and on that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. Uh-oh! The 17th of June. Was that? The professor's execution? Uh-oh! It's coming to light here. Professor. As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout their proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave. The convict came back to life. In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness. However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, shot back down, a gunshot ran out from over his shoulder, and the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Ah! Yes. Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil? I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Oh, buddy! Oh, buddy! Mr. Vigil? Oh, buddy, what's up? What do you remember? Yes, the whole prison. It was complete chaos. Oh, the prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. The shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane. What? He escaped? Order! Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned? Well, not quite, it would seem. My head, it's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, the screams. Oh, my goodness. Oh, poor guy. The papers. There were reports, articles, about a man who'd seen a ghost. Yes, Enoch Drebber. But surely those reports were exaggerated. There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? Oh! In Logate Cemetery, at plot number 139. Blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering. I've reviewed the police records from the time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that the member of the prison staff must have been involved. Are you suggesting that a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom? Uh-oh. Yes, and I was suspected of doing it. Of using that mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape. You did what? Oh, you were notably, he says, accused of. So he didn't do it. Someone else did. I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower. Oh, he's going faster! Oh, poor guy! I'm sorry, Daly. This is a serious business, but can I help you know? As Chief Warder, you're responsible for overseeing the execution of Flora. Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. You better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person. As soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew, Oh, poor guy. The professor. The most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over. Oh! Oh, he remembers! Poor guy. Bailiff, fetch a doctor at once! Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect. Yeah, we learned a couple of things here.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
Assume that's where the to be continued is. And that's where we're going to be stopping stream for the night. Ooh, something is happening here. I have to assume he didn't actually let him escape and someone else did and framed him for it. Because I doubt he knew the guy. Alright, that is where we are going to end it for the day, though. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sholmes, get out of here. We're ending stream. But thank you guys for stopping by. As always, come join the Discord server. We have fun here, I swear. If you want to see my art or other people's art, come check out the Blue Sky or the Tumblr. Twitter's completely dead. It's been eaten by a rat. And if you want to watch past streams, come look at the YouTubes. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Friday, we'll be continuing Honkai Star Rail because I have a couple of things I need to catch up on. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Have a good night.